Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Hope you guys had a great day. Just need to switch some music settings real quick and then we can start. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. for us, so
3 a.m. in the morning, pool reveal.
Let's go.
Oh, Flowers also in the chat.
okay. Wait, Vaniku, I will give you VIP real quick.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay.
Dude, take that thing off. Hello? Yo.
I will do it after the stream, I guess. Just need to open up more VIP slots. Okay. I think everything should be alright. If something's up with the sound or something, please tell us in the chat so we can fix it. Okay. Just need to raid on Kaito real quick. Because he's refilling his
we are
water.
good. We are good. Let's do this.
Oh! You're back. You're back already. Alright.
Yep. We
Okay.
are ready to show off some of the fruits of our labor.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised that we have 26 people watching the Mappool showcase at this time.
Yeah, at ungodly hours.
I bet like half of it's North America.
Yeah. Okay, I just need to make my game a little bit louder. Okay. I think we can switch the scene.
Yeah, let's do it. Starting things off with our No Mod 1. We decided to make things a little bit more interesting and less boring, if you will. This is a love letter by Yoasobi. Beat map set by Arisu. And this is the top tip of the set for those who downloaded it. But this is your aim pick of our qualifiers pool. A little bit non-standard, so to say. This is at 100 BPM, so a little bit faster than most other Nomad ones you players may be familiar with already. But it is sort of a mixed aim skill set. So we are still trying to test that jump aim skill set. But there's many other types of aim, as you may see quite shortly. But outside of that, it is pretty much your standard aim consistency. Just a few more aim variants we tested.
Yeah. I feel like it shows a little bit more personality to the pool. In a good way. I feel like it's not one of the boring Nomad ones. And people will probably even have a hard time, as for the lower ranked players, have a hard time to play this even as a Nomad one. And I feel like it shows a bit much of skill from a player. I feel like it's just overall.
Just trying to, just trying to encourage the player to practice the map more, get more familiar with those flow aim sections, or ready enough for those bursts. You can call it a sight recheck if you will, but still definitely one of the more playable maps in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And quite a sizable one too. I mean, the only real non-standard thing here is the little change in aim that we have. It's not just aim consistency.
And I feel like 100% slot pooling, even in qualifiers, is not really needed, as you... Qualifiers just shows an overall view over the tournament, in my opinion.
Oh,
So...
you're gonna scare the players about what we have in store for them.
No, I mean overall, I feel like qualifiers should be the most interesting pool of all of them overall. So I'm happy with what we came out of Nomad 1. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
and also it's a very nice replay. I feel like as a Nomad hard rock player, I needed some tries to have sealed.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a replay war going on for this map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barrett clutching it out. I think he was in Team Philippines like 1 year ago. For 6vc could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Well, thank you again to Barrett X for that replay. On to our Nomad 2.
And also, sorry Danny for ignoring the DM. I was just setting up the stream and other things the whole time. But thanks for coming into the stream. Yeah, and we are now just going on to Nomad 2. Let me just take out the replay really quick. So nothing goes wrong. It's a replay from someone who's by now well known in the tournament. It's from our good friend Vaniku.
From Vaniku.
Yeah. With a
Yeah,
banger number
is,
2.
Yep, we have an absolute banger of a song here. You got Dentalion by Team Grimoire. Mapper by Koyuki.
I feel like this map is one of the better number 2s for this star range.
Yeah, actually, to mention that star range, it is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
The rework had a little bit to play into the change in star ratings for all of our maps that we're about to show you guys. But this is sitting at a 5.55, so a little bit higher than the pool target of 5.4. But ultimately, all the players and playtesters had a very, very fun time playing this map and setting up some really, really good scores for our replays. But overall, this is just your standard Nomad 2 stream maps. There's a little bit of finger control. In this section right here, it switches to a 1/3 rhythm for that, like a couple sliders. And it might catch off some slider breaks if you are not ready for those. Ultimately, just a single playthrough and you guys will be well on your way to play the rest of the map. That's for stream focus.
It's also...
this is sitting at a comfy 186 BPM.
Yeah, it's also a very short map for this slot. I feel like many number 2s are a little bit longer. But all in all, the map is a great pick for this star range, even if it's a little bit above it. So
Yeah, also really testing your stream skill, like.
Definitely,
Yep.
especially because it just goes more into the streams to the end. I think it just really tests the consistency, especially with these little flow changes.
Honestly, quite a rare find to find so many flow changes in these streams. You don't usually see that kind of flow aim check in the star rating. So definitely one of our prize positions in maps to show you guys. But the streams do start to pick up, especially after that first minute. So definitely will also test your stamina.
And your nerve control.
yeah.
Yeah, and your nerves.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
some
think,
places to break with those nerves.
yeah. Also, if you're shaking really bad, like the last quarter of the map, it's really easy to miss.
Also spinner check. Wow, spinner check.
Oh,
Spinner
shit, a spinner.
check.
Yeah, thank you to Vaniku for that replay. Very, very good score. Now for our No Mod 3.
We're going an extra mile with a replay from Life Water. And a very chill song in my opinion. Honmai is kind of song you don't really expect to be on a number 3, I think.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more of a flow control. Also a sort of alt skill set you don't usually see in this star rating. Definitely has a few demon sections in terms of aim control and stacked reading. But outside of that, this is just your most standard and comfortable aim control alt. Also got a little bit of a star rating buff post rework. This is sitting at a 5.18. At the time of pooling, it was sitting at a 5.04, if I remember correctly. So a little bit of those aim control and like finger control patterns had to do with a small buff.
I feel like
But yeah,
it's a great pick for the slot overall in comparison to the other maps, because it's a bit shorter, but also tests your finger control ability very much. I feel like it's not very
definitely.
Yeah, it's not very typical as a number 3, I think, as some people might expect some harder aim alt patterns, but I feel like flow aim also fits very well.
Yeah, you also need a lot of aim control for this map.
Yeah,
Yeah, those wiggle patterns are very hard. They're pretty easy to note lock on, so definitely something for the players to keep in mind when they play through this map. And also does not get easier, especially in these Ki sections, where the sort of snap aim decides to pick up, and also the finger control, as you saw those 1/3 bursts there. There are a few of those in this map, so players should also be sort of careful with expecting those and having the finger control.
Yeah, small.
Hit those.
Side recheck.
Side recheck, for real. And that burst right there, oh man. But yeah, a little short break before you get into this sort of peak of the map. The map really shows its colors in this last section on a very good definition on what an alt map should be as these snap aim patterns kick up. Definitely will see more of the breaks here for those players that can get through the first 2/3 of the map. But this is the last section, ultimately the final test of that aim control.
I feel like the no mods in this pool are the most balanced ones we could find to compensate with other slots. So this pick feels like a very good pick, even for
Oh, he's leaking the pool. He's leaking the future pool.
no mod
Oh no.
3. Oh no.
L host.
Oh no, he's leaking the pool.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Thank you again to
Bro.
Lifewater for that replay. And onto the No Mod 4.
Yeah. 1 second. I think I forgot the replay.
No.
It doesn't really take long. Just give me a sec.
Truly no scuffed stream.
Okay, I got it. It's from one of our replay submitters of the name of Chaos Emperor
Chaos Emperor the Goat.
on the map of
Yes, Emperor the
Fuse.
Goat. Yeah, this is also one of the more sort of standard maps of this pool in terms of finding those slots in the star range. This is your very generic slider aim, mech tech sort of pick. Not as heavy as some of our other options when looking at specifically that slider aim, but definitely does hold those sort of irregular patterns and irregular sliders that you can expect out of the sort of No Mod 4. but there is still that, you know, the 175 BPM tapping requirement that is expected, and definitely tested throughout the map.
I feel like the other Nomad 4s were a bit different. I mean, some of them were harder, some of them were easier. For example, one of our last picks, I don't want to really name the map, but it was a bit discussed in our Mappool channel. So we switched
definitely.
it to Fuse in, I think, somewhere in the last 3 days. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
something like
really... Nomad 4 was one of our harder slots to pull.
We had a really long discussion on Nomad 4. I think
Yeah.
it was one of our problem slots, but in the end it worked out. So
Yeah, the problem with the other map was like it had way too many random sliders, like buff sliders.
Yeah, that map was a little bit butt slider health, so we decided to tone it down and push more into those mechanics, while still testing that slider A. And you see there are a couple sliders there, the sort of longer, and it's a good mix of the mechanics and tech, I would say.
Overall, I feel like this Nomad 4 really shows a different type of tech approach to the pool, as I feel like some pools and other tourneys also have a bit much tech in them. For example, slots like Hard Rock 1 sometimes also have tech. That's why I feel like mech tech, for example, on Fuse is a little bit better to compensate the other slots in the future.
Yeah, also to mention, this is one of the longer maps in the pool.
Yeah.
This is sitting at a 3 minutes and 31 seconds of map time, not including those breaks. 3 minutes and 21 of drain. So a little bit of that consistency aspect is also at play when playing a map like this. So this map might require more work from our players as they practice the pool and try to fully understand all these patterns and can play through these during their actual qualifier lobby.
Yeah, these patterns at the end are very fun.
Also I got suggested by 2 people to be pooled. So not so many different opinions on this one.
Definitely a very good emergency replacement, as we discussed
Yeah.
previously about finding that replacement Nomad 4 that would better fit this pool. But yeah, thank you again to the Chaos Emperor for that replay. That is not the last you'll see of them. But onto our hidden pool, which might cause a little bit of controversy, but we shall see. We shall wait for the lobbies to happen.
Also, another replay from Chaos Emperor on our hidden one. Some people might say it's not the traditional hidden one, but we will see how you guys will react to it.
Some people say that, and I don't care.
I think some people may know this map since this was also pulled in other tourneys.
Yeah, this is a more older map. This is Fellas by M2U, a very well-known sort of jazzy artist in the even bigger rhythm game community as a whole. But this is a 155 BPM flow aim test. As you may know, Hidden got a sort of star rating rework. Not really a rework, so to say. It's just that the star rating now affects or matches the PP value much better. So this is actually 5.47 stars after Hidden. But for the sake of the rest of this tournament, we will not be looking at the star ratings after Hidden in terms of determining difficulty for the rest of the pools. But this map sitting before the rework was at a 5.15. now currently got buffed to a 5.27, not including that hidden buff. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this is a flow control, a hidden one. Lots of straight flow patterns, lots of flow changes, lots of stop and go flow. Definitely a sort of note lock hell of a map.
Yeah.
If you are not that comfortable on the sort of hidden mod. But yeah, this map can get quite demoned sometimes.
Also, one of the
Yeah,
shorter
I already
maps.
can. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a shorter map, only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Already can see the chain misses on this map. Like, it's so easy to chain miss on the alt flow aim parts.
Definitely. This one would have been classified as a flow alt, but most of our testers in our pool has agreed that the BPM was just a little bit too high to even classify it as an alt. Especially since it's not actually that finger control heavy. Most of the bursts are pretty even. You know exactly where they are if you listen to the song.
Yeah.
Maybe that one section right there is the only finger control section with those doubles. But yeah, this map is a little bit unrelenting. Despite it short playing 2 minutes, it's just constant flow. You are constantly being tested on that flow and how well you can understand these patterns with that hidden mod on. But yeah, fabulous replay again from Chaos Emperor. Very, very good score. I'm definitely excited to see how that one plays out during qualifiers.
To the question from Mikomini, qualifiers, how many times you played? It's 1 time, I think.
Yeah, it should be once.
Yes, you would get. Oh, why is the SS
Oh, the
Cup
SS
tournament
Cup
in our-
tournaments.
Whoa, the
SS
SS
Cup
Cup
tournament
here. Hold
here.
on.
No
Wow.
way!
Yo,
Okay,
we're
that's such a
recognized. I
tournament.
feel great right now.
Wrong
but
account.
anyway.
Dude, wrong account!
Wrong account. Oh no.
Someone is getting fired.
Uh-oh.
Is this Spearfish?
SS Cup mentioned. But yeah,
Okay.
onto our Hard Rock 2. Or not, sorry, not Hard Rock 2, our Hidden 2.
It's also
a more standard sort of reading aim. This one is not a sort of non-slot pool.
it's also
Your very
from
expected, yeah, Night Core mix.
it's also from Chaos Emperor with an SS.
Yeah,
On
Chaos
our
with the
Hidden
SS,
2.
sort of carrying the hidden part of our replays. So shout out again to Chaos Emperor for this replay. But this is a very, very standard Night Core awkward aim reading type pick. There are definitely a few reading checks, but those of you who are very comfortable on this sort of mod with the low AR will find this map very comfortable, with just maybe a few minimal reading checks like that. Most of the reading checks are somewhat awkward aim based. There are a few linear aim patterns that will trip you up, especially if you're not ready for those squares or triangles. But overall, the reading requirement, I'd say, on this map isn't too high versus some other maps that we have discussed.
I think the most difficult part is in the middle of the map where there's a reading burst part that is really hard to remember or hit.
Ultimately, that might be the mechanics check for those sort of gimmick players that are maybe not as mechanically strong as their teammates. So there's a little bit of both worlds we have to be good at. Those mechanics, as well as the reading. But overall, just sticking to that awkward aim and a little bit of perfect stack reading. Some overlaps, some perfect stacks.
I feel like Chaos Emperor needs a little bit of delays here, as it looks like a more hard map to SS, even for a Hidden 2. So, and as he already provided many replays, it's great to have him on the team.
Definitely looking forward to how he does on the higher star rating pools.
Yeah.
That we will show in a few weeks' time. But even on that OD7, this is still a pretty hard map to act if you're not ready for those bursts. Definitely an easy spot to drop 100. But I feel like those gimmick players should be really happy with this sort of map and finding good combos hopefully improve their seating with the Z sum on here.
Yeah, replay war will be again.
Yeah, there will be another replay war. You will see more of those,
I feel like
especially
there will be
with these
for.
sort of smaller pools.
I feel like there will be for every pool. A bit.
Of course.
For
Surely.
mostly for no mod 1 or no mod 2 or something.
I'm
It's
trying,
finally getting
man.
harder.
I'm trying. But yeah, thank you again, Chaos Emperor, for now the third replay of this qualifiers showcase. Onto the Hard
What's
Rock pool.
about?
Now we are going back to one already great map. Got pooled a few times already, I think, in some tournaments. But the replay is from Vaniku again. Nyabanya.
Yeah, this will be Yabavaina by Setan P featuring Miku, Tedo, and Zinumon. Mapper by Toika, specifically Chitose's diff. This is a sort of control pick, sitting at a very high 200 BPM, especially for qualifiers when we haven't even gotten to our speed maps. But this is a sort of aim control slash finger control hybrid, as well as the BPM change. The BPM does actually shift from 170 to 200, depending on where you are in the song, and it is very, very burst heavy. Lots of 5 bursts, lots of 3 bursts, as well as doubles mixed in. But yeah, as you're seeing right now, this is one of the first sort of aim control patterns with those sort of aim control bursts, specifically those 3 bursts, as well as that sort of hardly classifiable light tech that the map does decide to show. And ultimately, this is a sort of test on your burst accuracy, almost like a burst mechanics map, with a few varying BPMs. So you might see some act drops as players newer to the map don't expect the BPM change. It is 170 in the key eyes and 200 outside of those in the verse sections and the build-ups. So there's a little bit of a somewhat present BPM change that will cause you to get some act drops. But overall, still a very, very combo gameable map. Just have to have some proficiency in hard rock tapping.
I feel like the other hard rock picks were a bit more on the aim side. But as we looked at the pool statistics, we switched up a few things, and Hard Rock 1 was one of the controversial maps everyone, I think, wanted to change. And I'm pretty happy with what it was at the end, so...
Our justification for changing Hard Rock 1 to be less of an aim mechanics map was having our No Mod 1 and a couple of our upcoming maps being more aim heavy, especially with that No Mod 1 testing other types of aim besides that, standard farm jump aim that everybody's used to seeing. And we thought those skill sets were prominent enough in those other maps to sort of move Hard Rock 1 to a different skill set that's maybe not usually touched upon in qualifiers. And this one being that sort of finger control and tech. But overall, still a very playable map. Definitely want to see some high combos on it. Albeit maybe lower accuracies than expected. But still a good replay from Vanico. This is actually taking from the leaderboard's statistics. So there is not a V1 or V2 score on this, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you again, Vanico, for that replay. And on to our Hard Rock 2.
And by the way, Vaniku's internet just crashed.
Uh-oh.
Oh god. You'll come back in a bit, probably.
Yeah, he will be back.
But with another replay from Livewater on
Yeah,
our
this is
Hard Rock 2.
This is ID Smile by 25時ナイトコートで This is a very, very hard precision aim map. Also, justification for using hard rock tapping. This is the sort of raw precision aim. A little bit of slider aim, a little bit of aim control for these sliders, sitting at a 170 BPM, although fluctuating a bit due to natural timings. But yeah, very standard precision aim. I don't actually believe there are that many bursts. I think there's a few of them that may jump scare you, but most of them are really in expected spots. But definitely one of the more aim-focused picks of our pool. Just sort of testing that precision aim instead of trying to almost hybrid pool it and like, you know, sneak some finger control in there where it's a little bit more unfun for players.
I feel like that's one of our shorter maps with close to exactly 2 minutes. I feel like it was a pretty obvious pick for all of the poolers, as many suggested it, so I feel like it
Yeah, it
fits it
fits the
very
hot
well.
Food spot very well.
Yeah, definitely. Also to mention with the sort of star rating reworks that happened recently, this after all those stats, CS 6.5, AR 10, OD 10, very standard of that precision map, but this jumps to a 5.4 after Hard Rock. So with the sort of precision buffs that happened in these, for at least our precision picks specifically, well, spoiler, that might not just be Hard Rock 2. Our precision star ratings jump much closer to the actual star rating we're trying to work with. So I just want to advise players to not be alarmed when you see a higher star rating in that precision slot. Ultimately, it is more balanced and it makes it easier for the poolers to find these sort of maps and better balance it out without having such a wide range in star rating.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you again, Lifewater, for that replay. On to the DT pool now with a little bit of a fun pick to spice things up for our DT1. This is a League of Legends cover by the Neuro and Evil. This is Gods beat map by Sinale. This is a little bit of an outlier compared to most other DT1s that you may be familiar with, especially at this sort of 5.4 star rating. This is AR 10.2. This is a high AR aim test. Again, very few bursts. I believe there's 2 actually, and that was one of them. So, oh, I am wrong. Never mind. I did not play the pool, guys. I'm throwing. But yeah, this is your more standard DT aim. It's not exactly farm. We were trying to avoid finding a farm aim pick at this high AR just because it would still be playable for everyone. So there's a little bit of that sort of aim change, a little bit of differing angles that are not exactly classifiable as sort of farm aim, as well as a few sliders to throw things into the mix. But the main selling point of this map is it being that sort of high AR skill set.
Also feel like as we switched up some maps in the pool, we got a little bit away from the aim section in most of the picks, but I feel like DT1 compensated a bit well, as I feel like I've seen so many DT1s in different pools where it's also mostly bursts or closer aim jumps. So
Yeah, most maps in DT1 are farm maps.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like many
you're trying to
times.
avoid finding those farm picks because we know everybody and their mother will be able to play it. So finding something that would offset that difficulty, like this high AR, would better serve to at least put some more challenge in a sort of maybe free pick that everybody can play.
Oh, Vaniku is back.
Yeah,
Hey, welcome back.
thank you. My internet acted up a bit. Oh, I missed Hard Rock 2, okay.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, banger DT1 though. 10.2 AR, I have no clue where the poolers found this one.
Yeah, this one's a very good pool, I will have to say.
Yeah, definitely.
And the actually goated song, to be honest.
And
Go to
now,
song, go to cover, go to map. Let's go.
and now we are
Let's
getting to a bit of a
go.
controversial map, maybe, for our DT2, as it's still
Yeah, this
being,
one, yep.
it was still being discussed, I think even today or yesterday. So we will maybe see some people mad about this one, but it's the 84th flight with a replay from Doaru. I feel
The
like,
map actually has BPM of 270,
yeah,
but the bursts on this map are mostly just triples and sometimes like 5 bursts. But I think the map is very cheesable for most players, and I don't think players will have problem with the 270 BPM, to be honest. It was also pulled in another tournament like 1 year ago, Equinox Cup, I think, and the players were pretty fine.
But yeah, still a almost less standard. It's sort of a hybrid pick. There are some light tech elements that you see here, some of the funky looking sliders. But it is still primarily testing that sort of 270 BPM raw speed capability of our players and qualifiers. A few bus slider controls as pretty standard of the star rating speed maps. Usually you don't get to see only raw notes. Usually mix of both. But there is a little bit of a BPM change. I don't know if you guys caught that. Well, it does slow down by, I think, about 40 BPM. It goes from 270 to 230. So you might see some act drops or even some note locks if you're too early and are not aware of that short slowdown. But it gets right back up on its feet and back to more 270 bursts to end the map.
also it's one of the, I think it's the shortest map of the pool, with a whopping 1 minute 40 after DT. I feel like
Yes, that is correct.
many people will probably have a hard time if you're not really a speed player.
Yes.
I feel like speed maps are just always like that. You either can play it or can't play it.
Wait,
Yeah, it's
But
really
on
just
this
finding
map,
those
you can
players who
just
can.
cheese the bursts, like
I
double
agree.
tap them.
we have
Yep.
we have news, guys. Someone trying to call.
Oh,
We
all hosts are here.
welcome Hunter to the Mappool showcase.
Thank you.
What do you think so far? I feel like you've seen maybe 1 or 2 maps already.
Yes, I saw. So, I think, like every map has its own, like, it. It's so good. I just can't describe it with words
Yeah.
because I know many mappers around here. I know who mapped, like not mapped, but like who pulled it, and I think they did a great job to do it.
Okay, after that we're going into DT3. I feel like another,
By the way.
I feel like another controversial pick maybe, as it's more on the finger control side, but it's a map. And another
Yeah, for those of you who
replay.
didn't think there was enough anime, this is Seiza ni Naretara by Kesoku Van. This is a guest difficulty on Cute Fro Set by Lude, and it is sort of almost, I want to say, aim control and finger control hybrid. This map does a little bit of both, so that you will have to be, or for our tapping players, there's a little bit more aim than you would like, and for our aim players, there's more tapping than you would like. But I still think teams will definitely be sending out their tapping players for this map.
Yeah.
But this is one of the longer maps, even after DT. This is at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And it is basically just a consistency test of that finger control. Not too high, because we do have that Hard Rock one that is testing the higher BPM finger control. This is sitting at 184 BPM, and yeah. It just is what it is.
I feel like, as we've seen already, there's many more tapping maps in the pool, but it was a bit of a headache to pool this quals pool, as at the beginning we had like many A maps and we switched some things up and now we are here.
Yeah, I think we almost had only aim slots. So yeah, it was quite a drastic change.
Yeah, most of the first slots were those sort of standard aim picks. And ultimately, our floors and testers found it was just too much aim. So we decided to try to combine a few things and balance out where the aim should be and how much of those aims should be present enough for it to be almost counted as that skill set being tested. So that's why you'll see a little bit more aim in your DT3, albeit it is still pretty comfortable if you get to those aim sections. So it's still only 180 BPM, that sort of standard jump aim that you should be used to, but just with a few finger control elements mixed in.
Right. First of all, why is my name Luke?
Why did you say it's a Manning's thing again?
Bro, my name is Glavi, that's not really...
Better than Ubuntu.
Okay.
Better than Ubuntu. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Yeah, but I feel like
Okay.
it's a very, very good pick. And I feel like even
Ultimately
if
trying to increase the aim,
yeah, even if some tapping players may be favored in most of the slots, it still has a few aim patterns, so we just hope
Yeah.
that everyone has a good time on this map. And now we will
Thank you again to Vanico for that replay again.
Yeah.
And on to our free
Very
mod
cool.
1. So not usually typical of qualifiers. Most team tournaments do not usually test a free mod, but we decided it was pretty necessary to not only balance the pool, but also see how good teams play, forcing those players on those mods. So we have a little bit of a slider aim anti-mod here. This is Underneath My Skin by Origami Angel. Careless's guess difficulty on Window Wipe set. But this is a sort of lower BP aim anti-mod, a little bit of slider aim, a little bit of awkward aim. So for those aim players, this is one of your other picks, albeit a little bit less standard. There are some control patterns that you should be aware of, like that first burst you saw there. But mostly it is sort of aim heavy with a few flow checks in those sort of bursts. Yeah, also to mention, this is not exactly your sort of standard anti-mod with that sort of CS5 and AR8. It's a little bit easier on the modded players. This is sitting at a circle size 4.6 and 8.5 approach rate. So a little bit easier for the hard rock players and hidden players. We commonly see hard rock players usually have to tank these sort of maps, as it's just so much harder, even with the readability that they get playing on hard rock. Just the precision requirements are a lot harder, so we decided to tone that down for these free mods and encourage hard rock players to score really well on these maps. But it's still not unplayable for hidden. 8.5 AR definitely much easier than that AR8 that they most anti-mods tend to show, and no mod sort of acting as that carry by putting up some consistent scores on this map. But after hard rock, I believe this is sitting at a 5.9 CS with AR10 and OD10.
I feel like it's one of the more chill maps. Was the same with Nomad 3. I feel like the song represents the map pretty well. And also comes in handy for the hard rock players. But yeah. It's not
It
very...
definitely helps with the readability and understanding the rhythms of the map. Especially on hard rock where you have that sort of less reaction time.
Yeah.
It's not too awkward, so it's like absolutely atrocious to play on that hard rock, and the aim makes sense with this wonderful mapping by Careless. And ultimately, these sliders aren't actually too awkward to hit either, so just sort of adding to that light tech element. But yeah, thank you again, Chaos Emperor, 4th replay of our quals pool. And that will round out the qualifiers map pool for Laika's tournament.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo.
We did it.
We did it, yeah. Thank
3
you again
a.m.
to
in the
our
morning.
host, our Laika, as well as commentating being the streamer host of this session. Thank you to all the commentators in the booth. Thank you, chat, for joining us at this sort of unholy hour for our hosts. I personally, as an American, am perfectly fine with this hour, but I know they are absolutely dying back there.
Yeah.
So, big shout out again to the rest of the booth besides me in this call right now. And then thank you
Can
to the
just
players for
give a big
encouraging these.
shout out to Kaito because he was commentating so good. Like this
Yeah,
guy
man.
carried us. Like he carried us right now.
For real.
Carried us in the bag, like
I joined for
commentating
2
peak.
minutes or something like that, and I heard Kaito, you're the best commentator I ever heard. in my
I
entire
appreciate it,
life."
man. Yeah, this won't be the last you hear of me. I'll definitely be here for those sort of group stage match, or not group stage. Sorry, I'm too OWC pilled right now. Those sort of bracket stage matches, as well as our seed reveal. Definitely count on it. But yeah, to all our players, definitely put your feedback in the sort of map pool feedback channels, and anything else you have concerning the difficulty of the maps and anything of the sort. Also, feel free to shoot some of the poolers DMs if they're open to it. I personally am fine with you guys asking me on Discord, but definitely the map pool feedback channel to discuss with other people. Once again, thanks Laika for our stream. Thank you the commentators booth. Thank you chat again. And
Yep.
we will see you guys next week.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have
Thank you.
still a great night or great day,
Thank you.
depending on your...
Good luck with qualifiers, guys.
Yeah,
I
good
want to
luck.
see some good scores.
Good luck to all of
Need
you.
that luck.
Alright, bye.
Alright, bye bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye guys. Bye guys.